Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the JKWD podcast, where we are full of sun and coffee. Kelvin, how you doing today, sir?
Wonderful. You notice I waited to drink that coffee because I didn't know what you were going to do.
I did notice.
Yeah, something about
it occurred to me that you still took a risk drinking it that quick, but you got a. But I saw you took a pause there.
I got off. Yeah, I got the thing. Anyway, life's good. Life's good. Having a great day so far. I woke up this morning. I noticed that I'm talking and moving around, stuff like that. I have vision. I can see out the window and see the clear blue skies and the snow that's not on my driveway, it's parted and stuff like that.
Awesome.
Must be warm enough. So I haven't actually looked at the temperature scale, but my furnace not on, so I'm guessing we're doing all right. So
great.
Life's good.
Awesome.
Having a wonderful day.
We're I think we took a turn on the weather, and our temperatures are no longer cold, and we're having plenty of sun after weeks of rain. We're getting rain back. Not too long, but we get a nice break. Hit 80 degrees yesterday.
Oh, cool.
And as you can hear in my voice, I still have that same cold that I had during our interview last week, mostly because that interview happened about 20 minutes ago.
The magic of science.
That's right.
We can spread it out over a week. Yeah.
Time travel.
That's it.
Time travel. So we are brought to you by the things that you put in your head. Go on over to jkwdpodcast.com/books. All the books we've talked about on this podcast, over 248 episodes now, are all listed on that page. Most of them with links to purchase them on Amazon. If you do that from our link, we'll get a few pennies a book. So good way to support the show. Also brought to you today by Vitamin K Daily, philosophical supplements for your attitude health. Wake up to a daily dose of positive from the Prince of Positive himself, Kelvin P. Ringgold, Sr., guy on the other microphone there. He's primping, but you can't see that on the radio.
Okay.
You can go get yourself 4 weeks free at vitaminkdaily.com. After that, just $24.95 a year. If for some reason you think it's not for you, that's all right. Just cancel before your trial's up and you won't get charged a thing.
Correct.
So let's do the show. Podcast, where we talk about better humanhood and teach you how to dominate your world. You ready? Here we go. So, Kevin, you texted me yesterday as we're talking.
Was I awake?
I think so, because you were you were hanging with your granddaughter.
Ah, yes.
And you discovered that it's supposedly common knowledge that
I made a mistake. Yeah.
Supposedly it's common knowledge that you're not supposed to give a young baby just plain water, because that wasn't common knowledge the last time you had a young baby.
No, it wasn't.
So it occurs to me that, at one point it was common knowledge that the universe rotated around the earth, and that if you sailed beyond the horizon that you would fall off the edge of the planet. And it's amazing how common knowledge evolves over time. I wonder what's common knowledge now, or what's not common knowledge now, that will or won't be common knowledge in another, even 20, 30 years as a.
And it might not take that long. What I'm finding out. Oh, man. Yeah. I wonder how many of those we can dig up.
Well, Elon Musk is talking about starting to build something on Mars in the next few years. So,
Yeah.
there might be new common knowledge in not too long that we're not aware of right now.
True enough. How about this stuff they're doing in the vaccines? Has that been around a long time as far as the mRNA stuff?
No,
which I was completely blown away by it.
These are the first mRNA vaccines that have ever worked, I think. So, yeah, who knows what, we have no idea what the long-term, if there's any long-term consequences, we have no idea. But, even vaccines have not been around that long. People were still getting polio during the first half of the 20th century.
Oh, yeah.
And diphtheria was a problem for a long time, and so is tetanus. These are things people died of.
It occurs to me, it's not all that much time since like 1920, 1925. In the scheme of things on the planet.
No, my grandfather was born in 1923. I mean, he's no longer with us, but that's I remember him. So I knew somebody who grew up in the 20s.
Wow. Amazing.
Yeah. Like that.
But it goes so fast when you're here.
My wife's grandmother lived to 99. She remembers, I used to have conversations with her. She remembers riding with her dad, who is a doctor, on house calls. They used to ride a horse and buggy around the brick streets of Syracuse.
Wow.
And that was just, like I said, my wife's grandmother.
Yeah.
2 people ago.
Man. Yeah. That's amazing. And that's an incredible thing to look at, because we got kids out here who were born 30 years ago that's ancient history. I mean,
that's before the internet.
Ancient history to me, but for them it's like that's like another world. That's like it
was before most of us had
caveman
internet in our homes.
Oh yeah.
30 years ago. Yeah.
So man, like what's next? And you talked about Elon, and he's sending rockets up and down now anyway, Ray. We never hear about this stuff anyway. It used to be so a rocket launch was news. Now they're sending rockets and stuff up, and it's just another day. It's like, oh, took a taxi cab to work yesterday. Oh no, I'm sorry, Uber. And oh look, Elon Musk launched another rocket.
Yeah, well,
holy smoke.
They're talking. So Virgin Galactic, Richard Branson's company there.
Oh yeah,
talking about having some passengers going to space this year.
Really?
Yeah.
How long?
I'm just into orbit and back.
Oh. Just a little jaunt around the planet.
Yeah.
Wow.
We've only been going to space for 50 years, 60 years.
Wow.
And now we got just people can buy a ticket and go.
I might be starting to feel old here. But yes, it does change in the technology. Well, you're more up on the technology stuff than I am. So what's coming up? I saw something not too long ago where I think it was NASA was actually working on a propulsion engine, Star Trek style. Is that
I mean, could be. We've heard from,
or maybe that was Eon, whatever that was.
Well, we've heard
was something Star Trek-ish.
Well, we've heard from David Fraver, who was an Air Force pilot, that we've seen some crafts that appear to work on some physics that we're not aware of yet. You saw a tic tac shaped vessel that went from 60,000 feet to a foot above sea level in no time.
Really?
Maybe it wasn't 60,000. Maybe it was 30,000. But it was
still, it's quick. Yeah,
30,000 to 1 foot in under a second. So
airliner. Yeah. Oh, yeah. A second.
Yeah.
Okay. That's quick
with no visible sign of propulsion. So.
I don't suppose they chased it.
No, but it did go to after it went down to 1 foot, it did go to a location that had been like an emergency rendezvous point. So it knew some coordinates. Yeah.
Oh. So, and you were telling me that they was that the one recently around the first of the year, wasn't it? About the time those monoliths were appearing.
Well, you know that
there was something.
A lot of airplane pilots flying into LAX have reported seeing people in jetpacks, up around 6,000 feet, which is pretty high up.
That's scary.
Yeah.
Imagine running into your next door neighbor by your friendly landing aircraft. Yeah. Huh. Well, life's getting interesting. Well, life's getting more interesting. Pretty soon we're going to have the Jetsons right here among us. I wonder how many people know what that reference is.
Well, what always struck me about the Jetsons, in the past, over the past 15, 20 years, is they had flying cars, but the phone was still attached to the wall.
Oh.
Yeah, so it was a video screen that came down, from the ceiling or whatever.
Right.
But it was still attached. Like for all the futuristic
inside the house, yeah.
Yeah, for all the futuristic things they dreamt up.
Right.
They didn't dream up a phone that we could keep in our pockets.
True.
So
I guess they couldn't be perfect. Yeah. You had to choose what you invented back then,
Yeah, well, I mean, it was just something that they didn't envision. Right. A phone not attached to something. And there was a car. They're working on getting a flying car approved in China. And they've got one that
Saudi had one too.
I don't know. I don't know about Saudi. There's one in the U.S. that recently got FAA approval, but they haven't gotten NTSB. They haven't gotten the NHTSB, the National Highway Safety Board approval for it. So they've managed to get light aircraft approval for it. Now they just need to make it road safe.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, I'm probably not going to sign up for that test program either. Not that I'm a wimp. Not that I'm not a wimp. What can I say? But yeah, common knowledge. That's things are changing so fast, and kids coming up now. I mean, they don't even, some of the stuff, I don't think they're even putting in the history books. You got to go on YouTube to find it. It's interesting, the stuff, and like the thing yesterday with the baby. I mean, it's dangerous to give a newborn, a child under 6 months, just water. And I'm like, I never heard of this. I had to go look it up. And it's like, wow. But they're talking about changing the whole electrolytes of the body, and I'm like, I'm not that old. Well, maybe I am.
Well, I mean, when did we decide it was dangerous to smoke while pregnant? Was it the 70s?
Oh, I suppose. Yeah. Some research in there. Somewhere in there. Yeah.
It was not that long ago. I mean, like, definitely during your lifetime, maybe during mine.
Water's water. We're made of water, which apparently is part of the problem.
Right.
And part of the problem. So it was like I was totally flabbergasted. And I don't even, me, I'm the guy that stays away from news. Well, that used to be it. I've become somewhat addicted in the last 6-8 months. It's been some crazy stuff, but I get out of it. But just the stuff that's coming up. I guess I'm just going to have to stay tuned to YouTube and TED Talks.
Yeah, well,
no, TED Talks. Yeah,
yeah. Like we're saying, what's common knowledge, keeps changing and evolving. What was his name? Ignaz Semmelweis. You know about him?
I've heard the name, but I don't remember the specifics.
He was a radical physician. He discovered that when he washed his hands before delivering a baby, they tended to live longer. And he could not get the rest of the medical establishment to start washing their hands.
Oh, wow.
And now we wash our hands before making meals now. Never mind something as delicate as childbirth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Of course, now with COVID, we holy smoke.
Well, remember we were
anything in alcohol.
at the beginning of COVID, we were washing our hands 25 times a day, and they discovered that it doesn't live on surfaces very long, and it doesn't transmit via surfaces, but we're still washing our hands 20 times a day.
Yes, and they still have those nice alcohol wipes at the supermarket, so you can wipe off your carts, and
which they should have had anyway. I mean,
we didn't really think of ourselves as being a dirty society before that. Not really, not before COVID.
That's true,
but that's true. But yeah, the same thing with the flu and stuff like that. So, but life continues to be interesting, and we continue to evolve and learn more. Amazing how many things we're doing now that we used to talk about it before, like before seatbelts and stuff like that. It wasn't bad for us before, but yeah, it was. So now we learn new things and put them in all the cars, and now it's mandatory, and there are still people that don't use seatbelt.
Right. Even though the research on that is pretty clear that, every now and then somebody gets into an accident and hangs himself on a seatbelt, but it's not very often.
Yeah.
They do a lot more
because they don't have.
They do a lot more good than harm, especially now that, in the 50s, most cars were tanks.
Mm-hmm.
And now you've got
plastic cars.
Right. Well, now you've got everything from a big old truck down to a smart car or a Cooper Mini.
Yeah, speaking of smart cars, we have this. How's the progress on these self-driving cars?
I understand they're getting pretty good. I don't see myself getting into a self-driving car. Maybe as an Uber for a short trip, but like I don't see myself buying one and letting it drive me places, because I like having a little bit of control.
I noticed
and
that
I know,
about you.
I know my brain says a self-driving car is going to be way safer than a human driving a car, right? Every time a self-driving car gets into an accident, it's going to be news.
Mm-hmm.
Most accidents that people get involved in don't make the news because we get into so many of them.
Yeah, that's true. So
somebody determined that after 9/11,
mhm.
it was something on the order of, over the next 5 years or something, an extra 1,600 people died in car accidents because people were afraid that 9/11 meant that there were going to be more terrorists taking over planes. And so there was a lot more driving than flying. A lot more people drove who would normally fly.
Right.
And driving is so much more dangerous than flying in the long run.
In the long run, yeah. But now we're back to driving because you can't fly planes.
Right. Or you can, just you're probably getting COVID.
That's the rampant rumor. So yeah. So what do you think the next bout of common knowledge is going to be that we can't imagine right now? I know that was a contradictory statement.
I don't know, but I think it's going to have to do with power, with electrical power and battery power. That I think these old computers that we use, I think your computer right now is about 10 years old. Mine's about 7.
Yeah, somewhere around there. Yeah.
Mine's about 7. I think these machines that we take for granted can run on some battery. I think we're going to start seeing nearly unlimited battery life, and I think we're going to be able to get it from sustainable sources in our lifetime.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think that we're going to be able to harness some kind of sunlight and water vapor and turn that into power. Solar panels are getting smaller and to the point where just a few years ago, we were talking about Elon Musk earlier. That when the Tesla came out as really the first, we're going to do this electric car.
Right.
There had been other fully electric cars before, but none that anybody stuck with. But the initial problem obviously was battery range, and now that's improved somewhat. But when they first came out, there was no chance that you could put enough solar panels on that car to keep the battery charging. It would just be too heavy, and you'd have to extend it extra feet in every direction. But now they're getting small enough that and capacity is picking up as such that we're probably not far off from being able to take a flat surface of like a 7-seater SUV or van, and make that solar panels, and on a decent day just have that consistently feed your battery and store extra range. I think that's our next kind of step, that we won't be dealing with double A's and triple A's and making sure we get to a wall every 6 hours so that our phones don't die.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. So, yeah.
Biology is the other. Augmented biology is the other place where we're going to see that renewable. You not only using stem cells, but being able to renew 3D print organs and other biological matter, and getting implants.
That's
like that stuff. That stuff's coming too.
I thought stem cells were they weren't doing that.
Well, they are. The U.S. took a big step back during the Bush administration, but everybody else plowed forward. So now you can go get. You got a bad knee, you can go get stem cells put in your knee, and let it regenerate.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, so that 156 for me is looking better and better all the time.
Yeah. If
That's
if
it.
you make it if you're in good shape in another 10 or 15 years, you've got a good shot at another 75.
Yeah. And hopefully we'll have world peace by then. So so you don't have to live through another couple of wars.
Right.
But yeah. Well, interesting stuff.
Yeah, I think we're looking at, if not, your granddaughter's not that much younger than my daughter. Like, if not in their generation, their kids' generation will probably be able to biologically live indefinitely. Yeah, at some point, everybody, law of diminishing returns. Everybody's gonna get hit by a car or eaten by a bear, but natural lifespans are going to be able to be indefinite and not too long.
I'm thinking we should be able to control the bear population, but not anymore because we can see. Be interesting. Wouldn't it be interesting if the zoos were made up of animals that were made from stem cells, just to bring back some of the prehistoric? Oh no, that's a movie I don't want to watch.
Yeah, right.
We got Tyrannosaurus Rex right here in River City, and yeah, nah, never mind. Forget that. I'm done.
Yeah, no. Some of those animals that didn't live alongside humans, there's a reason that we needed them gone before we could leave the caves.
Have that buddy as a pet. I was talking to a friend of mine the other day, and this is off the common knowledge thing, but it might not be common knowledge for people that in Florida, I guess around the Everglades and stuff, they have creatures over there. They were telling me recently about this 400-pound fish that showed up, and that they're trying to figure out how it got there, where it came from, but it's terrorizing things. And then I didn't realize that
they have Nile crocodiles in the Everglades too.
Huh?
They have Nile crocodiles in the Everglades.
And 20-foot pythons.
Well, they have a big snake problem in Florida because people take them as pets and then they're like, oh, I can't feed this thing anymore. Let it go.
Right. And then they flush them down the toilet or something. And so we've had some presentations in Toastmasters recently of the size of the, I mean, they actually pay people to go find these things.
Yeah. Well, there are more tigers in captivity in Texas than there are in all of the wild of the rest of the world.
No.
Yeah. Just people either doing the Mike Tyson thing where they've got, hey, I got money, I'll have a couple of tigers, or they have these little roadside zoos. Yeah.
Seeing some of the roadside zoos. Wow.
Yeah, so more tigers in Texas than all the rest of the world combined.
Wow. That's pretty scary. In a way. Another reason not to go to Texas.
Well, if they ever get out, we got a problem.
Absolutely. Oh, well. So I guess that's our interesting diversion for the week. We're going to have to, that's our goal. More interesting diversions.
Yeah.
For information. And, but now that we know that you can't give water to a newborn.
Yeah. Yep.
They'll at least, and then my daughter told me yesterday, and also, or maybe it was you, no honey under a year. Yeah, no honey.
It causes, there's a fear about botulism.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there you go. Well, I'm glad I'm past all those ages because I love me some honey.
Yeah, me too.
And I love me some water. So I guess we're good for now.
Yeah.
But not for the baby.
That's right.
All right. I don't know if I got any more grandkids coming. So I guess I won't have to. Now I have been enlightened on that little problem.
Well, if you're
not to.
if you're gonna live to 156, you have some great grandkids coming. Probably some great grandkids. Yeah.
Hadn't thought about that. Let me think. I don't think anybody's tuned to that right now. So
yeah, but I mean, you're talking to another. Yeah,
that's true. 80 years. No, how many? Yeah, something close to that.
Yeah,
that's possible. Tell you what, I keep you posted because if I'm still here, you got to be here, and vice versa. Sound like a plan?
All right, we'll be up to episode. I was gonna try to do the math, but I'm not that quick.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. Well, the technology will have been changed so much by then that.
Yeah, who knows? We'll be churning out one every 10 minutes. Yeah.
Let's see how we can put that together. So, all right.
Well, thanks for hanging out. This was fun. jkwdpodcast.com/books. VitaminKDaily.com. Get yourself 4 weeks free, and we will see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Hey, thanks for listening. Show notes and more at jkwdpodcast.com. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share with your friends, and we will see you next week. Bye! A Better Humanhood production.